Our first topic involves considerations for revising sales orders. After completing this lesson, you should be able to perform the following: explain how to revise an order, and also be able to explain compensation. Our first topic involves revisiting the order-to-cash data flow in the context of change order processing. With each lesson, we have reviewed this graphic, which represents the wide range of functionality provided by the order-to-cash flow. Each topic touches on these functions, including upstream and downstream integrated applications. In this lesson, we focus on change management within the order orchestration process. Change management is one part of enabling order orchestration. As shown in the graphic, orchestration also includes order promising. It includes defining the orchestration process, along with branching conditions, pause task, and wait steps. It also includes status management, orchestration process planning, and jeopardy management. In addition, orchestration supports fulfillment line splits, deploying the orchestration process, and managing holds. Next, we'll explore the revised order business flow. This flowchart shows what happens when you change a submitted order. You might also refer to this as revising an order or creating an order revision. After you make your changes, you submit the revision. From that point on, the process looks much like the standard flow for a physical item that ships from your warehouse. Order changes are handled automatically. The application's change management capability updates the orchestration process that's tied to the revised order, so the process stays aligned with the new order details. You can also configure the application to cancel specific orchestration steps and rerun them when needed. When you revise an order, processing constraints control what you can change. Depending on how those constraints are set up, you may still be able to edit an order even after it has been submitted. To edit an order, you start by locating the original order and then creating a revision. From there, you can cancel existing lines, add new lines, and update the configurations as needed. Keep in mind that you can't revise the price for any line that has already shipped. In the search results, you can select multiple sales orders or order lines and apply the same action to all of them at once. For example, you can update and cancel lines, or submit, reprice, and cancel orders. You can also apply or release holds at either the order level or the line level, release a pause task, and schedule or unschedule lines. Here's an overview of the steps you need to take to enable a search of an action on multiple orders. You create a search index to support the searches you need. If required, you can also manage your search indexes over time. You can optionally set up a search view to control how results are displayed. To create your search indexes, sign in using the Application Implementation Consultant job role. Next, go to the Scheduled Processes work area and run the Create Index definition and perform initial ingest to OSCS, Scheduled Process. This process creates the sales order search index and loads it into the search database. You typically run it once for each index you need, and you set the parameters shown in the table when you submit the process. Next, run the Update Sales Order Search Indexes scheduled process to refresh the index and keep search results aligned with the latest sales order data. This process updates FASEM form sales orders, FASEM FOM sales orders lines, and FAHCM Save Search, so you typically set it up only once. Select Schedule, and then enter the value shown in the table when you submit the process. If you choose to manage your search indexes, you can control which attributes participate in search. You can also decide whether each attribute is used for searching, for display, or for both. If needed, you can include attributes that come from an extensible flex field so that they're searchable as well. You can also modify the index definition for sales orders, for order lines, or for a combined order and lines index. If you need to add the shipping instructions attribute to the order line index, you can do it like this. First, go to your home page and open Order Management. In Quick Actions, select Show More, and then click Index Management for Sales Orders. On the Index Management page, choose Sales Order Line to open the Configure Index page. On the Configure Index page, review the predefined list of attributes and remove any attributes that you don't want to include in search. Then click Add, search for shipping instructions, select it from the results, and click Add. When you're done, click Update, then click Rebuild. Finally, click Cancel to close the action dialog. Back on the index management page, monitor the rebuild status and refresh this page until the status shows Ready. If you want to adjust how the search view behaves at runtime, you can customize that search view as well. First, confirm that the index rebuild you ran is in Ready status. Then, go to your home page and open Order Management. In Quick Actions, click Show More, and then select Search Views for Sales Orders. On the Search Views page, you'll see two predefined views, one for sales orders and one for order lines. Open the Sales Order Lines search view. From there, open Keyword Search and enable or disable the keywords you want to use. Next, open Filters and select Show for the attributes you want to make available as filters at runtime. Finally, open Results column and choose how you want Order Management to display the search results. When you set up your search view, you can click and drag rows to change the order in which Order Management displays filters at runtime. You should ignore the Enable checkbox because it's intended for a future release. Oracle recommends using the predefined search view, but you can create your own if needed. If you do, first clear the Enable option on the predefined Sales Order Line search view or Sales Order search view, because you can have only one default view for order lines and one default view for sales orders. Then create a new view, set the value you want, and select the Enable and Default options. On the Basic Info tab, decide whether to enable Show Results before entering criteria. If you enable it and users run a search without entering a search string, the search will consider all values. If you have a large data volume, that setting can impact performance. Finally, adjust the keywords, filters, and results columns to meet your requirements, and then click Save and Close. When you revise an order, you can copy data from another order so that you don't have to re-enter values manually. You can copy order lines, kits, and configured items, including assemble to order and pick to order configurations. If you copy a kit or a PTO configured item, Order Management copies all the related lines except lines that are marked as included items. If the line you copy uses extensible flex fields, those flex field values are copied as well, but only if you've enabled the Copy Extensible Flex Field Values when you copy an order line profile option. Order Management can copy a line that belongs to a shipment set, but it does not copy the shipment set name. Because of that, the new line is not placed into a shipment set. Also keep in mind that some lines can't be copied. For example, if your order includes a free line that was created automatically by a product transformation rule or an Order Management extension, that free line won't be copied. When you revise an order, or when a revised order comes into Oracle Order Management through Order Import, the goal is to handle the change with minimal disruption. Order Management first checks whether the change is still allowed, and then determines what steps need to be performed again. Compensation is the set of actions that must be done or redone because of that change. By default, Order Management compensates a step by updating it with the new information from the revised order. A compensation pattern is the rule that tells Order Management how to compensate a specific step in the orchestration process. Order attributes that identify change, sometimes called, are the key order attributes that signal a change requires compensation. Order Management compares the revised order to the original order to see whether any of these attributes have changed, and then uses that comparison to decide what to compensate. To see how the pieces of change management work together, consider this example. A manager at Vision Corporation wants to purchase gym bags with the company's logo for 12 employees, and she wants to offer a mix of colors. She places an order through the internal purchase site for 12 bags. On the order header, change management is set up with change mode as advanced, and use transactional item attributes has been set to yes. The order attributes that identify change include ordered quantity, class code, and requested ship date. The cost of change is also defined, so if a fulfillment line is in reserve status, the cost of change is 15, which is considered low, and if the fulfillment line is in ship status, the cost of change is 100. The order includes 3 sales order lines with 4 red bags on line 1, 4 navy blue bags on line 2, and on line 3. Each sales order line maps directly to a fulfillment line, so fulfillment line is for 4 red, The fulfillment line 2 is for 4 navy blue, and fulfillment line 3 is for 4 black. Within a day of placing the order, one employee resigns first to a different division. The manager calls customer service and asks the order entry specialist to reduce the quantity and to change the navy blue bags to beige. The specialist locates the existing order, and the fulfillment lines are currently on the create shipping step. The specialist, so line 1 is for 3 red bags, line 2 is for 3 beige bags, and line 3 remains for 4 black bags. In the first step of change processing, order management checks for the delta by evaluating what changed between the original order and the revised order. It uses the same orchestration process that was assigned to the original order to compare the two versions. Order management then evaluates constraints at both the header and the line level. At the header level, it mainly confirms the order is not closed. At the line level, it detects that the ordered quantity changed, and ordered quantity is a change attribute, so compensation is triggered. Because Use Transactional Item Attributes is enabled, order management also compares transactional item attributes. In this example, the color changed from navy blue to beige, and that change would also trigger compensation. Finally, order management checks default line processing constraints. For example, it typically prevents changes when the fulfillment line is already shipped. In this case, only 1 day has passed, so the lines haven't shipped yet, and the change is allowed. Next, order management compensates the orchestration process what changed. First, it compensates the create scheduling step. Because most orchestration steps don't have a specific compensation pattern, order management uses the default pattern, which is update. This means that the create scheduling step is canceled and created again. Order promising checks availability, planning, and the next step dates are recalculated. Next, it compensates the create reservation step. In this example, the orchestration process includes a specific rule for the step. The rule says that if the demand class code is not gold, then the step is redone by canceling it and creating again. For most customers, this release applies and then creates a new reservation. The step is also updated with the new dates, and the reserved quantities are adjusted. Then, it compensates the create shipping step by updating it with the new dates and the updated item details. At that point, compensation is complete, and the orchestration process returns to the same point it was when the order was revised. Finally, order management sends updates to the downstream fulfillment system for each affected task. If a changed attribute doesn't impact a particular task, order management still updates the sales order, but it doesn't send an update to the fulfillment system. You can revise only the most recent version of an order. After a change is triggered, order management sends update messages to any external system to update the original message with revised order attributes. For example, if the original message had an inventory quantity of 5 and an arrival date of August 15th, the revision might send an update inventory message that changes the quantity to 10 while keeping the same arrival date. When you submit a revision, order management shows a confirmation message only after it successfully updates the order. The order's version number is updated immediately as part of that update. If checks are enabled before submission, you may still see a confirmation message as soon as the approvals or credit check process starts. In that situation, the order updates can still fail later, and order management might not actually update the order. If a technical or functional error occurs during the order update, the revision is rejected and no confirmation message appears. This also includes when order management sends hold requests to fulfillment systems. During order processing, a fulfillment line can be split when a warehouse doesn't have enough quantity to fulfill the entire request. In that case, the original fulfillment line ships part of the quantity from the first warehouse and is created to supply the remaining quantity. The remaining quantity can be sourced from another internal warehouse, or it can be sourced from a third party through drop shipment. For example, if warehouse A has only 8 boxes available, the system can ship those 8 from warehouse A and create the remaining 12 boxes from a different location. When an order line has been split because of a partial shipment, you can still update line attributes by creating a revision and then making the required changes. You can also revise the order through the REST API or by using FBDI in combination with the REST API as part of the order import process. Change management for a fulfillment line that was split due to a partial shipment is mostly any other line in awaiting shipment status, except for the very first update. After you take the first action on the new fulfillment line that was created for the remaining quantity, order management triggers compensation for all tasks on that line. After that initial update, later changes allow the normal change processing rules, similar to a standard line that has not been split and is still awaiting shipping. For warehouse updates and item substitution, order management typically uses the cancel and create compensation pattern across global order promising, supply chain orchestration, inventory, and shipping. For actions such as unschedule, schedule, unreserve, and reserve, order management uses the cancel and create pattern for all tasks. If you can, order management sends the cancellation request to all connected fulfillment systems. If you want to update attributes on split order lines that were created for partial shipments, you must enable the related feature opt-in in the setup and maintenance work area. Similarly, if you want to apply